Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, to receive the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia, Most Worshipful Brother Daniel Lewis Gannon, you will all please rise. The brethren will adopt the sign of fidelity. Most Worshipful Grand Master, Grand Lodge is ready to receive you.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will lead the delegation in.
Distinguished brethren, I will about turn, mark time twice and step off with my left foot. Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, be seated.
Brethren, Assist me to open this Grand Lodge. Brother Grand Pursuivant, where is your situation in Grand Lodge?
Within the inner porch of Grand Lodge, Most Worshipful Grand Master,
What is your duty?
to give a due report on all approaching brethren, to see that they are suitably clothed and fixed under their banners.
Do you find them to be so placed?
To the best of my knowledge, Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Where is the situation of the Junior Grand Warden?
In the south, Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Brother Junior Grand Warden, whom do you represent?
Boaz, the Prince of the People on Mount Tabor.
Where is the situation of the Senior Grand Warden?
In the west, Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Brother Senior Grand Warden, whom do you represent?
Jarkin, the Assistant High Priest on Mount Sinai,
Where is the situation of the Deputy Grand Master?
at the right of the Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Right Worshipful Deputy Grand Master, whom do you represent?
Hiram Abiff, the Prince of Architects.
What is your duty?
Owner in the taxation office.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yep.
very rewarding.
Yeah.
So you do this thing called discard, and you're
Yep.
teaching.
Lay schemes, draw designs, and assist the Most Worshipful Grand Master in the execution of the work.
Where is the situation of the Most Worshipful Grand Master?
In the east,
Whom does he represent?
the Royal Solomon.
Then, brethren, after the Grand Chaplain has invoked the blessing of the Most High, I will, in the name of the Royal Solomon, open this Grand Lodge in ample form.
Before this Grand Lodge is opened in ample form, let us supplicate the Grand Master. Thus, in all the purposes of our present assembly, grant, O Lord, that those who are about to be invested as Grand Officers of this Grand Lodge may be endued with wisdom to perform their various duties through the exercising of brotherly love, relief and truth amongst all with whom they may come into contact. May they form bonds of friendship that will increase and strengthen Freemasonry throughout this jurisdiction. We humbly invoke thee to give them wisdom in all their doings. May we be granted strength of mind in all our difficulties. Aid us to exercise the beauty of love and harmony in all our actions. May our labours, thus begun in order, be conducted in harmony and closed in peace.
So motive
Brethren, in the name of the Royal Solomon, I declare this Grand Lodge duly open in ample form.
Yeah, mine a bit the same.
Brethren, you will join in singing the opening ode.
Been on them all morning. Yeah.
That's Jim. It's all right. Let it go.
Wait.
You've got Jim switched on.
You've got Jim switched on. You've got Jim's mic switched on.
Turn it off.
Brethren, you will salute the Grand Master with grand honours 9 times, taking your time for the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Brethren, be seated.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will present to me Mrs. Kay Paddock and Mrs. Jenny Breeden.
So you been naughty? Come with me. Please, ladies. Come with me. Yeah. Right aside me, come on. Shall we all hold hands, look? I have no idea. We're just going to turn and face that way. Thank you. Grand Master, I present Jenny Breeden and, sorry, Kay Paddock. It's all good.
Don't be nervous. Mrs. Kay Paddock and Mrs. Jenny Breeden. Now you know why we went to extraordinary lengths to make sure that you were here today. Very recently, we introduced what was known as the newest honour that we can bestow on anybody within the Greater Masonic family. It's an award that is given by your peers and the brethren of our jurisdiction. It recognises and acknowledges outstanding service over a great many years to the Western Australian Constitution. It is not limited to a brother, but to a partner, an individual, even a company that has made an extraordinary contribution to this wonderful fraternity of ours. It is called the Order of Service to Freemasonry, and it is, if you like, a People's Choice Award. You fine individuals have been unanimously not only presented to the Grand Lodge of Western Australia as nominees for this particular award, but the judging panel, who spent numerous hours scouring a number of different presentations, unanimously chose 2 extraordinary individuals by the name of Kay Paddock and Jenny Breeden. So, it is with my great honour and an enormous amount of privilege that I induct you into the Order of Service to Freemasonry. You are only one of 3 who are in this order, and it is something that your families and the lodges that you serve so well will be extraordinarily proud of, as I am of the 2 of you. So with the greatest of pleasure, Mrs. Kay Paddock, may I present you with the Order of Service to Freemasonry and an illumination citation, which you are welcome to hang on the wall right next to your husbands. May I give that to you for a moment? And Mrs. Jenny Breeden, equally with a great amount of pride and pleasure, that I present you with this award. Now, if you wait one moment, ladies, gentlemen and brethren, I'd like to read the citation so you understand what this is all about. The Most Worshipful Grand Master hereby appoints Jenny Breeden and Kay Paddock as a member of the Order of Service to Freemasonry in acknowledgement of your outstanding contribution and commendable dedication to Freemasonry in Western Australia over many years, recognising you as an essential pillar of our ancient family. You're very welcome. Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, will you please congratulate the two newest inductees to the Order of Freemasonry.
I'm very honoured. Thank you.
Pleasure. Why should your husbands have all the fun? Thank you very much.
Just let the Grand Master sit, and then once he's sat down, we'll take off. I'll take you back to your seats.
Pleasure. Go that way. Grand rank is conferred on those brethren whose names appear in the official program. Distinguished brethren, ladies and gentlemen, it is with both a sense of history and a little disbelief that we have once again arrived at the installation event of a new Grand Master into the chair of King Solomon of this Grand Lodge. 3 years ago to the day, in a different place and in very different times, with the fog of the COVID-19 pandemic beginning to slowly lift, I was privileged to be installed as the 32nd Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia. At the time, with Fortress WA still in place and the majority of states and territories unable to enter or get home, we were well supported by our brethren and their families who came and enjoyed the events of that weekend, though we were missing a very large and distinguished group of the greater Masonic family across Australia and New Zealand, the brethren and their partners of our sister constitutions. I am thrilled to welcome all our visitors and guests who have made the journey to WA within Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, and other parts of the globe to enjoy this wonderful and marquee event which celebrates both a new Grand Master, but more importantly, the wonderful fraternity, friendship, and community that is Freemasonry. I equally would like to acknowledge and thank a very important group of companies and individuals who have seen fit to provide both financial and in-kind support to this wonderful occasion, but more importantly, this wonderful fraternity. Our sponsors. They are our platinum sponsors, Masonic Care WA, represented by the Chairman of the Board, Most Worshipful Brother Peter Kerwin. Sickwood Funerals, represented by Mrs. Julie Waitley, Managing Director, and Very Worshipful Brother Todd Waitley, partner in life and partner in business. Our gold sponsor, the Supreme Grand Royal Arch Chapter of Western Australia. Represented by the First Grand Principal, Most Eminent Companion Ken Taylor, and Grand Scribe Ezra, Right Eminent Companion David Glynn. Our silver sponsors, Next Practice Health East Perth, represented by Worshipful Brother Dr. Dylan Vaz and Mrs. Dr. Davina Vaz, who are about to open their state-of-the-art medical practice in early 2025. Astute Promotions and Apparel, represented by Brother Mohan Ramachandran. And York Lodge number 5, represented by their Worshipful Master, Worshipful Brother Angus MacDonald. This sponsorship represents the first time we have seen a private lodge contribute to the success of the Grand Installation Weekend, and we thank you, Worshipful Master, for your commitment to the craft here in WA. Personally, there have also been 3 anonymous contributions which I have been most grateful for, and these individuals have chosen to remain anonymous. I'd like to thank them for their outstanding support of tonight and the events over the course of the weekend, and they know who they are. These sponsors, ladies, gentlemen and brethren, are critical to the activities of Freemasons WA, and particularly this weekend, and we thank them for their commitment to Freemasonry in Western Australia. Today is not a time for me to wax lyrical on the achievement of the past 3 years and this administration, who, like me, will be retiring at the end of this weekend. Much has been said and detailed of these across the respective business and communication meetings over the past few weeks, the detail of which is available and can be reviewed on the Grand Lodge website. I would, however, like to thank the senior leadership team and the brethren of the last 3 Grand teams for your commitment to ensuring that the all-important ceremonial requirements for lodges and the jurisdiction was conducted, and most importantly, for your loyalty and commitment of time, and in many cases cost, to do what needed to be done. I am truly grateful for you being the men and the Masons that you are, and wish you well in your ongoing journey through our beautiful craft. Ably supporting the Grand Officers has been our Grand Lodge administration team, comprising Sheree Evans and Tim McDougall, who, in addition to being part of the engine room that is driving this weekend, have been unwavering in their effort to ensure the operational elements of Grand Lodge function seamlessly. And I and the teams are grateful for what they have done and got done when it was needed to be done, and for the high quality of the experience that they have supported us to deliver to our members. Thank you for your support. Helping and supporting them has been Mr. Matt Trainer of Masonic Care WA, who has provided some amazing execution, and his work is evident up on the screens that you will see during the course of this week. Matt, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything you do and continue to do for Grand Lodge. It has been said that you should leave the best till last. So naturally, I would like to thank my family, Right Worshipful Brother David Gannon, my beautiful daughter, Michaela Gannon, who has chosen to join us today, and the love of my life, Linda. Your strength and courage in having to deal not only with me, but the many absences from home life, the late nights, the trips away when I'm able to accompany me on times, and the demands of my time, I am in awe of you and can never properly thank you for what you have done. You met me when I was Deputy Grand Master and have not known a life with me outside of Freemasonry. So what I can promise you is this: I will be present for you at all times and give you of me and my time which you so richly deserve, except when I go to a lodge meeting, of course. Thank you, my darling, for the human being you are and the faithfulness you have shown me as First Lady. I have and always will love you. I would like to congratulate and wish the incoming Grand Master and his team nothing but health, happiness and success. And may we benefit and thrive from his leadership and the team's effort. In closing, brethren, ladies and gentlemen, 3 years ago I asked the question in my opening address as Grand Master, what does success look like for me after my term has come to an end? My answer is quite simply, if I could look out at the faces of our brethren, either in their lodges or today, at this meeting, or at any Masonic gathering, and what I see are smiles on the faces of those present, then that is what success looks like. It would appear that we've done a few things right. I was asked how I felt about leaving office based on what I have just witnessed in this room. I'm sad, but I'm satisfied. Thank you all for the privilege and the absolute honour it has been to serve you as your Grand Master. I wish you all well and goodbye. Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, I am ready to receive our distinguished visitors.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, the leaders of the Associated Orders in Freemasonry in the state of Western Australia are ready to enter Grand Lodge.
I will receive them with pleasure.
Brethren, to receive the leaders of the Associated Orders in Freemasonry in the state of Western Australia, you will rise.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Right Worshipful Brother Brian Miller, the Masonic Order of Athelstan. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Right Worthy Brother Barry Caddy, the Order of the Secret Monitor of the Grand Council for Southern Australia. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Right Worshipful Frater Maxwell Ross, Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Right Worthy Brother Trevor Thompson, the Provincial Grand Lodge of Western Australia of the Royal Order of Scotland.
Brethren, you will remain standing while the visiting delegations take their seats.
Most Worshipful Brother, Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Illustrious Knight Robin Arndt, the Grand Imperial Conclave for Western Australia of the Masonic and Military Order of the Red Cross of Constantine and the Holy Order of the Holy Sepulchre and of St. John the Evangelist. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Illustrious Brother Graham Cusell, the Supreme Council 33rd degree of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite for Australia.
Brethren, you remain standing while the visiting delegations take their seats.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Eminent Knight Paul Booth, the Great Priory of Western Australia of the United Religious, Military and Masonic Orders of the Holy Temple and Sepulchre and of St. John of Jerusalem, Palestine, Rhodes and Malta.
Brethren, you remain standing while the visiting delegations take their seats. brethren of the rank of past Deputy Grand Master and above, please be seated. Brethren, this Grand Lodge has been privileged to receive delegations from the Associated Orders in Freemasonry in the state of Western Australia. You will now honour their leaders by saluting them with grand honours 7 times, taking your time from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Brethren, be seated. Most Worshipful Grand Master, the distinguished district grand delegations are ready to enter Grand Lodge.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, I will receive them with pleasure.
Brethren, to receive the distinguished district grand delegations, you will rise.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Excellent Companion Peter Fezicek, the District Grand Superintendent of the District Grand Royal Arch Chapter of Western Australia, holden under the Supreme Grand Royal Arch Chapter of Scotland. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Brother Dunstan Fernandez, Honourable Past Grand Deacon of Ireland, Past Junior Grand Warden of the Regular Grand Lodge of Italy, Past Senior Grand Warden of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria, an Honorary District Senior Grand Warden of the District Grand Lodge of the Bahamas, Honorary District Senior Grand Warden of the District Grand Lodge of India, Honorary Senior Grand Warden Scotland, Past District Grand Master of the District Grand Lodge of the Middle East, holden under the Grand Lodge of Scotland.
Brethren, you will remain standing while the district grand delegations take their seats. You take it too. That side. Please.
Most worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Brother Arthur Anderson, Honorary Senior Grand Warden Scotland, District Grand Master of the District Grand Lodge the Goldfields, Holden under the Grand Lodge of Scotland. Most worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Brother George Rogers, Honorary Senior Grand Warden of Scotland, past District Grand Master of the District Grand Lodge of Western Australia, Holden under the Grand Lodge of Scotland.
Brethren, you will remain standing while the district grand officers take their seats. You should be seated. You're supposed to be going that side, brethren, please. Thank you. Brethren of the rank of past Deputy Grand Master and above, please be seated. Brethren, this Grand Lodge being privileged to receive distinguished district grand delegation, you will now honour their leaders by saluting them 7 times, taking your time from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Brethren, be seated. Most worshipful Grand Master, the leaders and delegations of sister sovereign constitutions are ready to enter Grand Lodge.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, I will receive them with pleasure.
Brethren, to receive the leaders and delegations of the sister sovereign constitution you will all please rise and adopt the sign of fidelity.
Oh, where am I going?
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Eminent Companion Kenneth Taylor, First Grand Principal. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I introduce Most Eminent Companion Anthony Whelan, past First Grand Principal. I also introduce Most Eminent Companion Richard Joyce, past First Grand Principal. And I further introduce Right Eminent Companion Frank Hayes, Deputy First Grand Principal, past Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Worshipful Brother Jeffrey Harper, holder of the Australian Fire Service Medal, Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Queensland. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I introduce Right Worshipful Brother David Gray, Deputy Grand Master.
Brethren, you will remain standing while the Grand Officers proceed to their seats. You go. No, Steve. No, some of them do, Grand Master. No, they do. Right worshipful.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Worshipful Brother Luke Wood, Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Tasmania. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I introduce to you Right Worshipful Brother David Gray, Philip Klein, Deputy Grand Master. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Worshipful Brother Jim Watt, Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of New Zealand. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I introduce to you Right Worshipful Brother Paul Chappell, Deputy Grand Master.
Brethren, you will remain standing while the Grand Officers proceed to their seats.
Where do you come from?
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Worshipful Brother Anthony Booker, Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I introduce to you Most Worshipful Brother Bob Jones, Past Grand Master. Most Worshipful Brother Hillel Benedict, Past Grand Master. Right Worshipful Brother Peter Henschel, Deputy Grand Master. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Worshipful Brother Christian Albano, Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of New South Wales and the Australian Capital Territory. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I introduce to you Most Worshipful Brother Leslie Hicks, Past Grand Master. Right Worshipful Brother Paul Schultz, Deputy Grand Master.
Brethren, you will remain standing while the Grand Officers proceed to their seats. The south side will move first. Take them, Steve. One too many.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the honour to present Most Worshipful Brother William Merrill, Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of South Australia and the Northern Territory. Most Worshipful Grand Master, I introduce to you Right Worshipful Brother Simon Gray, Deputy Grand Master.
Brethren, you will remain standing while the Grand Officers proceed to the east. Visiting Grand Masters, please be seated. Only the Grand Masters. Visiting Grand Masters. Thank you. Drop it. Brethren, this Grand Lodge has been privileged to receive distinguished delegations from sister sovereign constitutions. You will now salute their leaders with grand honours 9 times, taking your time from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Ladies, gentlemen, and brethren, you will all please rise and join in singing the first verse of the Australian National Anthem. Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, please be seated.
My fellow Grand Masters, distinguished brethren, leaders of orders and delegations, ladies, gentlemen and brethren, welcome. It is indeed an honour that you pay the Grand Lodge of Western Australia in attending this weekend's events. The installation of a new Grand Master into any jurisdiction is one of great ceremony, but more importantly, it's one that the greater Masonic family needs to come together and celebrate. Having you present today is a great joy for us all and demonstrates the strength and unity that we have not only across this jurisdiction, but across this wide brown land, even all the way across the ditch to the land of the long white cloud. It's indeed a great pleasure to welcome our New Zealand brethren, as well as the representatives of the District Grand Lodge of the Middle East out of Malaysia. For the first time ever, this Grand Lodge welcomes the Associated Orders of Freemasonry in Western Australia, and we trust that you will long participate in our assemblies and join us in our meetings. Brethren, ladies and gentlemen, and guests, thank you all for visiting the Grand Lodge of Western Australia and coming to help us celebrate the installation of the 33rd Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of WA.
A response to the Grand Master's welcome will be given by the first Grand Principal of the Supreme Grand Royal Arch Chapter of Western Australia, Most Eminent Companion Ken Taylor, Honorary Third Grand Principal of Scotland, past Senior Grand Warden.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, on behalf of the Supreme Grand Royal Arch Chapter of West Australia and your many visiting delegations here this afternoon, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you, Most Worshipful Brother Daniel Lewis Gannon, on the completion of your 3-year term of office as Grand Master of this Grand Lodge. You have been an ornament to Freemasonry in the way that you have guided this Grand Lodge, and your enthusiasm and dedication to this state will go down in history as a very happy and educational time that all Freemasons can be proud of. I also take this opportunity to wish Most Worshipful Brother, Right Worshipful Brother, Grand Master-elect, Brother James Allen Walker, every success in his period of office for the next 3 years. I have no doubt under his leadership, our Grand Lodge will grow and prosper. You have a wonderful foundation to be built upon, and we look forward to many happy times in his presence. On a personal note, thank you for your counsel and advice on all matters Masonic. You have been an inspiration to me, and I value our friendship. I do wish you and your recently announced fiancée, Linda, long life, happiness, and may you enjoy life to its fullest. This will be the last time I can call you this Most Worshipful Grand Master, but thank you most sincerely for your service, and we all wish you well in your retirement.
Brother Grand Secretary, you will read to me the certificate of election of the Grand Master-elect.
This is to certify that in accordance with the Constitution of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia, Right Worshipful Brother James Allen Walker has been elected to the position of Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free and Accepted Masons of Western Australia Incorporated on Thursday the 28th of March 2024, subject to his installation on Saturday the 2nd of November 2024 for the ensuing 3 years, or until his successor shall have been duly elected and installed in his stead. Signed under the hand of the Deputy Grand Secretary, Right Worshipful Brother Colin Kershaw, holder of the Grand Master's Order of Merit, past Junior Grand Warden.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will now retire with 6 Worshipful Masters for the purpose of escorting into Grand Lodge the Grand Master-elect.
Most Worshipful installing Grand Master, the Grand Master-elect is ready to enter Grand Lodge.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, I will receive him with great pleasure.
Reverend, you will rise. And adopt the sign of fidelity. Right Worshipful Brother Walker, Grand Lodge and our visitors are ready to receive you.
Director of Ceremonies, please lead us in.
Worshipful Masters, I will about turn, mark time twice, and step off my left foot. Most worshipful installing Grand Master, I have the honour to present the Grand Master-elect of this Grand Lodge to receive from your hands the benefit of installation.
Brethren, you here behold Right Worshipful Brother James Allen Walker, who, having been duly elected to preside over the craft in this jurisdiction, I now request that he declare himself ready for installation as its Grand Master. Right Worshipful Brother Walker, you are in the presence of all here assembled, presented to me for installation to that exalted position. But before I continue with that most important undertaking, let us invoke in our proceedings the blessing of the Most High.
Brethren, you assume the attitude of reverence.
Aid, Almighty Father and Supreme Ruler of this solemn rite of installing the Grand Master-elect, Right Worshipful Brother James Allen Walker, as the 33rd Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia. Endure our most worthy and distinguished brother with wisdom to comprehend, judgment to define, and ability to enforce obedience to thy holy law. Sanctify him with thy grace, strengthen him with thy power, and enrich his mind with true and genuine knowledge, that he may be the better enabled to enlighten the minds of his brethren, and by being so endowed will encourage us, the members of the West Australian Constitution, to unfold the beauties of true godliness to the honour and glory of thy most holy name.
So mote it be. You are required, prior to your installation as Most Worshipful Grand Master, to take a solemn obligation binding you to the faithful performance of the duties of that high office. Are you willing to take it?
I am.
Then you will kneel on both knees. Place both hands on the volume of the sacred law and take the obligation of a Grand Master.
Brethren, you assume the attitude of reverence.
I, James Allen Walker, in the presence of Almighty God and before the Grand Lodge of Western Australia, do solemnly promise and declare that to the best of my ability, I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially perform the duties of Grand Master in this jurisdiction during my term of office, and that I will conform to and maintain the constitutions, rules and regulations of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia and the usages and customs of ancient, free and accepted Masons, and that I will, at all times, enforce strict obedience thereto, so help me God.
As a pledge of your fidelity to this solemn obligation, you will seal it with your lips on the volume of the sacred law. Rise, duly obligated, Most Worshipful Grand Master. I clothe you with the badge of office. And with this jewel, the symbolic meaning of which will have a new and striking significance for you. I invest you with this neck jewel, as it was to me by my predecessor, most worshipful brother Peter Francis Kerwin, and to him by his, the late most worshipful brother William Gordon Babe. May you wear it with pride. All right, okay. Okay. Just use the clip. Relax. I now place you in the chair of King Solomon, thereby surrendering to you the seat of authority. As a potent reminder of your Masonic authority, I present to you this gavel, which in your hands should never be used in vain. I salute you and pronounce you Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia of ancient, free and accepted Masons. Behold, brethren, your new Grand Master.
Brethren, you join in singing the ode. Brethren, be seated.
Let me congratulate you, most worshipful Grand Master, on the high station to which you have been raised. The office of Grand Master is one of great antiquity and dignity, and carries with it powers and prerogatives which are well nigh absolute. The interests of the craft in this state have now been placed in your hands. To rule has been the lot of many, but to rule well depends in no small way on the use of those powers and prerogatives in the discharge of your great and solemn responsibilities. May the Father of light, of life and of love invest you with his choicest gifts. May you be imbued with the full competency of that great wisdom which so distinguished King Solomon, whose chief representative you now are. May your feet rest upon the rock of justice, and late, very late in life, may you be translated from the fading honours of an earthly lodge to the mansion prepared for the faithful in another and better world. Most worshipful Grand Master, you, having been installed into the chair of this Grand Lodge, cannot be insensible to the obligations which devolve upon you as its head, nor to the faithful discharge of the duties annexed to the appointment. The honour, reputation and usefulness of this Grand Lodge will materially depend upon the skill and ability with which you manage its concerns, whilst the happiness of the brethren will be generally promoted in proportion to the skill and assiduity with which you promulgate the genuine principles of our order. As a pattern for your imitation, consider that glorious luminary of nature, which regularly rising in the east, diffuses light and lustre on all within its circle. In like manner, most worshipful Grand Master, it will be your peculiar province to communicate light and instruction to the brethren of this Grand Lodge. Forcibly impress upon them the dignity and high importance of Freemasonry. Seriously admonish them never to disgrace it. Charge them to practice out of their lodges those duties they are taught within them, and by virtuous, amiable and discreet conduct, prove to the world the happy and beneficial effects of our ancient institution, so that when anyone is said to be a member of it, the world may know that he is one to whom the burdened heart may pour forth its sorrows and find consolation, to whom the distressed may prefer their suit and obtain relief, whose heart is guided by justice, and whose heart is expanded by benevolence. In fine, most worshipful Grand Master, by a strict observance of the Constitution and regulations of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia, and above all, by the use of the sacred writings, which are given as a rule and guide to your faith, you will be enabled to lay up a crown of joy and rejoicing that will never fade away, but will remain when time with you shall be no more. And may God grant you health and strength to perform the duties of your high office with satisfaction to yourself and advantage to this Grand Lodge. I actually was pausing. Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will cause the Grand Master to be proclaimed.
Brethren, you will rise. Brethren, I have been instructed to make proclamation, therefore be it known, that Most Worshipful Brother James Allen Walker has this day been invested and installed, and he is proclaimed Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia of Ancient, Free and Accepted Masons for the ensuing 3 years. And I call upon you to salute him with grand honours 9 times, taking your time from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Brethren, you will all join in singing the ode. Brethren, be seated.
Most worshipful Grand Masters, most worshipful brethren, right worshipful brethren, very worshipful brethren, brethren, leaders of delegations, ladies, gentlemen, friends, and last, by no means least, my family are here today, who I'll talk about more this evening, but they won't be there this evening. It's my two beautiful granddaughters. I've got 2 out of 3 here today. And so thank you, Savannah and Lucia, for being with me today. Thank you. All the way up from Bustleton. Thank you. Firstly, thank you to the Brethren of Western Australian Constitution for your support in electing me as your Grand Master for the next 3 years. It is a privilege and an honour that you have bestowed on me, which has not, nor will be taken for granted. Most worshipful brother Daniel Lewis Gannon, thank you for your faith and trust in appointing me as your Deputy Grand Master 3 years ago. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be standing here today, and I'll talk more about our relationship in the last 3 years later on in the program. To our sponsors, who have made this installation possible with their generosity, Masonic Care WA, Silkwood's Funerals, Supreme Grand Royal Arch Chapter, Next Practice, Astute, York Lodge, and a number of anonymous brethren. To the Grand Lodge office, our CEO, M.L. McDonald, thank you for your support, counsel and advice when I needed it. To Cherie Evans, Worship Brother Tim McDougall, Matt Trainer, and the Grand Secretaries, Right Worship Brother Colin Kershaw, and Right Worship Brother Keith Baxter, for taking my calls and just quietly going about doing your job so professionally and in assisting and getting us here today. The Grand Installation Committee, led by Worshipful Brother Fed Geltart, who at times most probably didn't have many smiles when we gave him some extra things to do, but you made this thing happen very, very seamlessly. The Grand Team here today, for all your tireless work that you've put in, with many rehearsals, and in some cases the extra rehearsals that you did outside the ones that were scheduled. And a special mention to our Grand Director of Ceremonies, Very Worshipful Brother Andy Urban, for the patience that you've had, the follow-up, the emails and the telephone calls. Thank you. And also, quietly in the background, sitting right behind you, Very Worshipful Brother Gary Castledine. You've been at most rehearsals and you've done a fantastic job in getting us here as well too. To the Grand Team for this coming year, thank you to each and every one of you for accepting my phone calls and talks, and then more especially agreeing and coming onto the team this year. It will be a great year, and I'm sure one of enjoyment. The music today, provided by our organist, Very Worshipful Brother Frank Pinker, who has attended just about every rehearsal on Sundays since April and only missed a very few. But he said he would not miss this one today, and I can assure you there's a brass band alongside you, very thankful for that. I'm sure your church will be very pleased to see you back there on Sunday mornings playing the organ, so thank you. To the Canning City Brass Band, thank you. And thank you for the surprise that you gave me today coming in, because I didn't realise you were going to play my entry march, so thank you. I now know why we had a little bit of extra rehearsal on Monday night on that particular march, so thank you. It's been a busy week for you. Last Sunday with the blessing of the fleet, strolling and marching through Fremantle. Last night at the Canning show, and here today to support me personally as your drum major. And Paul, a special thank you to you for the work that you do behind the scenes and quietly making it appear so easy. Next year will be a big year, with the 27th of February marking 125 years of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia. There are events being organised throughout the year and also for many celebrations. Finally, and once again, thank you, and also thank you to the team for the Grand Lodge for 2024 and 2025.
Ladies, gentlemen, brethren, that concludes the first half of today's ceremony. As I say, we will have a comfort break for 10 minutes only, so I'll make that 22. We will resume at 10 to 4. Please don't go too far. If you do need to go, please go. But the longer it takes us to get you back in, the longer it takes everybody to get home. So it'd be nice if you don't travel too far if you don't have to. There is some water stations in the two corners of the room, so if you feel that you need some water and whatever, please help yourselves. Thank you. hang on, I'm going to... Get him over there. Somebody else look after fucking Michael. Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, if we can please take our seats. We will be resuming. We have run over time. So as quick as you can, please. Brethren, if we please can take our seats, please. We've got some young people who would like to go out tonight. I know we all go home and go to sleep, but the youngins want to go out. Except me. I'll be in the bar. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your timing on getting back, and we will commence with the second half of the ceremony. Thank you.
I appoint Very Worshipful Brother Graham John Swift as Deputy Grand Master. Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you'll present to me Very Worshipful Brother Swift for investiture as Deputy Grand Master.
Worshipful Grand Master, I present Very Worshipful Brother Graham John Swift.
You'll kneel on both knees. Place both hands on the volume of sacred law and take the solemn obligation of a Deputy Grand Master.
Brethren, you will rise and assume the attitude of reverence.
I, Graham John Swift, in the presence of Almighty God and before the Grand Lodge of Western Australia, do solemnly promise and declare that to the best of my ability I will faithfully, honestly and impartially perform the duties of Deputy Grand Master in this jurisdiction during my term of office, and that I will conform to and maintain the constitutions, rules and regulations of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia and the usages and customs of ancient, free and accepted Masons, and at all times enforce strict obedience thereto. So help me God.
As a pledge of your fidelity to the solemn obligation, you'll seal it with your lips on the volume of the sacred law.
Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips that they speak no guile.
Rise, duly obligated Deputy Grand Master. The position to which you have been appointed is of great dignity and importance. More importantly, particularly in the death, incapacity, or absence of the Grand Master, the powers and privileges of that office devolve upon you. I close you with your badge.
It's random all fucking morning.
And invest you with your jewel of Deputy Grand Master. And I invest you with the colour jewel of Deputy Grand Master, which was presented to me by Most Worshipful Brother Daniel Lewis Gannon. Be seated on my right and aid me with your counsel.
Be seated, brethren.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will proclaim the Deputy Grand Master.
The brethren of the rank of, the brethren of the, below the rank of Past Pro Grand Master will rise. Brethren, I have been instructed to make proclamation, therefore be it known, that Right Worshipful Brother Graham John Swift has this day been appointed and invested and is now proclaimed Deputy Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia of Ancient, Free and Accepted Masons for the ensuing 12 months. And I call upon you to salute him with grand honours 7 times, taking your time from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Brethren, you all rise and join in singing the ode. Brethren, be seated.
I appoint Right Worshipful Brother Colin Kershaw, holder of the Grand Master's Order of Merit, as Senior Grand Warden, and Very Worshipful Brother Harvey David Ross Flood, holder of the Grand Master's Order of Merit, as Junior Grand Warden, and those Grand Officers whose names appear in the official program. Brother Grand Director Ceremonies, you'll present to me the Grand Wardens for investiture.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I present Right Worshipful Brother Colin Kershaw, holder of the Grand Master's Order of Merit.
clothe you with the badge. And invest you with the jewel of Senior Grand Warden of this Grand Lodge. On behalf of all present, I congratulate you. Place you in this chair and give into your hands this gavel. It is your duty to facilitate the designs of the Grand Master and to see that his commands are carried into full and permanent effect. In this position, you represent Jarkin.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I present Very Worshipful Brother Harvey David Ross Flood, holder of the Grand Master's Order of Merit.
I clothe you with the badge. Oh, hang on, you've got a cord, mate. Let's go. And I invest you with the jewel of Junior Grand Warden of this Grand Lodge. On behalf of all present, I congratulate you. I place you in this chair. Give into your hands this gavel. It is your duty to adorn the work with your powers of genius and active industry. In this position, you represent Boaz. Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will proclaim the Grand Wardens.
Brethren, with the exception of the newly appointed Grand Wardens, all brethren below the rank of past Deputy Grand Master will rise. Brethren, I've been instructed to make proclamation. Therefore be it known that Right Worshipful Brother Colin Kershaw, holder of the Grand Master's Order of Merit, and Right Worshipful Brother Harvey David Ross Flood, also holder of the Grand Master's Order of Merit, have this day been appointed and invested and are hereby proclaimed Senior Grand Warden and Junior Grand Warden respectively of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia of Ancient, Free and Accepted Masons. And I call upon you to salute them with grand honours 5 times, taking your time from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Be seated, brethren. Newly appointed.
I request the Deputy Grand Master to assist me in investing the Grand Officers.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will present to me the Grand Lodge officers for investiture.
The newly appointed and reappointed Grand Officers will rise. You will now assemble for the purposes of investiture, taking your time from the escorting marshals. Brethren, you will turn to the east and salute the Grand Master with a sign of fidelity. Right Worshipful Deputy Grand Master, the Grand Officers are ready for investiture. Grand Officers, you will salute the Grand Master with the sign of fidelity. Turn to your right and return to your seats and remain standing, taking your times from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Grand Officers, be seated. The ceremonial officers now will rise and assemble for the purpose of the investitures, taking your time from taking instruction from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Right, Worshipful Deputy Grand Master. The ceremonial officers are ready for investiture. Grand officers, you will salute the Grand Master with a sign of fidelity. Turn to your right and return to your stations and remain standing. The newly appointed and reappointed Grand Officers will rise.
Newly invested and reinvested Grand Officers, allow me on behalf of the Grand Lodge of West Australia and all present this afternoon to congratulate you on the honour that has been conferred upon you by the new Grand Master, and thank you in advance for your commitment over the next 12 months. While this honour is in recognition of the commitment they have previously made to our fraternity, it also calls upon you for further Masonic responsibilities. Before you consider these responsibilities, you should never forget the greater responsibilities that you owe your family and employment, as without their support, you may not have been here today. These additional responsibilities require you to maintain and uphold the dignity of Grand Lodge by always acting with pride and decorum on all occasions. When dealing with more experienced and higher ranked brethren, you should be prepared to accept good advice when appropriate, remembering that these brethren have built the foundation upon which we now stand. When engaging with younger and less experienced brethren, you should be ready to offer advice when requested and lead by example. As always, remember, these brethren are the future of our fraternity. And finally, to your fellow Grand Officers, remember that you're part of a team. Listen and be guided by the Grand Director of Ceremonies, the Grand Inspector of Workings, and your Grand Master. Grand Officers, we now start a new year with a new Grand Master, which will be full of harmony and reward, and together we will ensure that our fraternity progresses with profit and pleasure for all those who embrace the principles of Freemasonry. The Grand Master, Wardens and myself are looking forward to sharing our Masonic journey with you over the next 12 months. On behalf of the newly invested and reinvested Grand Officers and myself, we pledge our loyalty and support to our new Grand Master and wish him every success in the ensuing year. Brethren, you'll salute the Most Worshipful Grand Master by the sign of fidelity, taking your time from me.
Be seated, Grand Officers.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will proclaim the Grand Lodge Officers.
Brethren, with the exception of the newly appointed and reappointed Grand Officers, all brethren below the rank of past Junior Grand Deacon will rise. Sorry, Warden. Brethren, I have been instructed to make proclamation, therefore be it known, that those brethren whose names appear in the official programme have this day been appointed and invested or reappointed Grand Officers are now hereby proclaimed Grand Officers of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia of Ancient, Free and Accepted Masons for the ensuing 12 months, and I call upon you to salute them with grand honours 3 times, taking your time from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. All will rise and join in singing the ode. Be seated, Reverend.
Brother Grand Director of Ceremonies, you'll present to me most worshipful brother Daniel, had to give him a new name, Daniel Lewis Gannon. It is you.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I have the pleasure of presenting Most Worshipful Brother Daniel Lewis Gannon.
Most worshipful Brother Gannon, I think I must have been thinking about the old movie, Dennis the Menace, when I nicknamed you that, but you haven't been a menace at all. You've been a fantastic Grand Master. Now, if I go back 4 years ago when we spoke about me coming in as deputy, you said, just do the right thing every year and we'll be here this time in 2024, and we are. And we've had a fantastic time, we've got a lot of enjoyment. We formed a very, very good friendship over that time as well too, not just in Freemasonry but also outside. One of the things that's taught to me in management was that when you take on a job, it's the first year to get to know about it, it's the first year to do something about it, and the third year is to make sure it wasn't a fluke. And I can rest assured your third year and your 3 years have not been a fluke. You have achieved many, many things over those 3 years. You've worked very, very hard. And also, from the point of view of having a full-time work as well, it wasn't easy. But you've taken us and you've led us very, very well. We congratulate you. And I know you think you're going to go into retirement, but...
No, I know I'm going to go.
No. We'll talk about that later, not today. We don't need to have a fight here. We've gone very well for 3 years without one. But as I said in my speech, next year is going to be a very busy year, so no doubt we'll be calling on your help and assistance. But on behalf of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia and the Brethren, I had the great pleasure to invest you with your Most Worshipful Grand Masters, Past Masters Jewel. I don't think these ones have remagnetised themselves like the other ones. Thank you. Turn it over. Thank you. On behalf of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia, congratulations and thank you.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, my fellow past Grand Masters, Grand Masters, distinguished brethren, ladies and gentlemen, Most Worshipful Grand Master, thank you so very much for the presentation of this beautiful jewel. I will wear it with great pride and honour. And it has indeed been an honour for me, brethren, to serve you as your Grand Master for the past 3 years. I said 3 years ago that I was but a custodian of this wonderful fraternity and its growth and development. That is quite true. But I know full well that I am passing it over and putting into very safe hands. We will experience continued growth and continued vitality under our new Grand Master, and I pledge my fealty and my fidelity and my service to you, most worshipful Grand Master. Thank you, brethren, who have served under my administration. Thank you, brethren, who are about to serve under our new Grand Master. And to all of you, thank you, and I'm going to enjoy my retirement. Yeah. You will present to me very worshipful brother Andrew Robert Auburn.
No curly.
Most worshipful brother Daniel Lewis Gannon. I present very worshipful brother Andrew Auburn.
Most worshipful Grand Master, with your permission.
Please.
You weren't wrong. You've got me working straight away. Very worshipful brother Andrew Robert Auburn, it is the Grand Master of the day's distinct pleasure to honour a Grand Officer who does a particular role that is described as being almost impossible. But you, sir, have demonstrated not only today, but certainly over the course of the last 12 months, your capacity for herding cats, organising the impossible, but most importantly, doing it with great aplomb, enthusiasm, compassion and understanding for Grand Officers who sometimes find themselves in distress, but most importantly with friendship. We've formed a wonderful friendship and association over many years, but it's been cemented over the last 12 months. I, on behalf of all of the Grand Officers of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia, certainly up to this point in time, wish to thank you and congratulate you on all you've done for us. It's not easy to do what you do, and you've always done it with a smile. So it is now my great privilege and pleasure to present you with this past Grand Director's baton. I hope you will use it with pride and pleasure, and I wish you many, many more years to sit and lodge amongst us all.
Thank you, Grand Master.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, mate.
Congratulations, mate.
Jeff Hart, madam. Greeting on behalf of all visitors will be conveyed by the Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Queensland, Most Worshipful Brother Geoffrey Harper, AFSM.
Would the visiting delegations please rise? Most Worshipful Grand Master, on behalf of the visiting delegations, we congratulate you on being installed into the chair of this Grand Lodge and wish you well into the future. We look forward to working with you to progress Freemasonry into the future. As a Queensland Freemason, I'm very proud to say that you took your first step in Freemasonry in Papua New Guinea, which is in the jurisdiction
of the United Grand Lodge of Queensland. And I'm sure on that day, you never expected to be in that seat. So congratulations again. I'd also like to congratulate your Deputy Grand Master for taking on the very important role in this jurisdiction. To the Grand Lodge officers that have taken the various roles tonight, congratulations on those very important positions. You are now members of a very important team and support your Grand Master in the term ahead. To the Grand Director of Ceremonies and the installing team, congratulations on a wonderful display of Freemasonry, ritual and precision. Thank you very much. To Most Worshipful Brother Danny, we have been friends over the last 6 years. We were Deputy Grand Masters together and Grand Masters together, and I look forward to our continued friendship into the future. One of the saddest things in our term is probably that some of us couldn't make your grand installation, but we're all here tonight, and we're very pleased to be here. Tonight you were given the title of Past Grand Master, PGM. And I believe that all the Grand Masters here tonight look forward to your next conferral, and that is MM, a married man. Or it could be past bachelor, whatever you like. Again, to the brethren of Western Australia, on behalf of the visiting delegations, we thank you for your hospitality, friendship, and fraternal greetings. A wonderful display. Thank you.
Be seated, brethren. The brethren, or the representatives of the sister sovereign constitutions at or near this Grand Lodge, will rise. Hang on. Please, Grant. Greetings will be conveyed by sister sovereign constitutions by Right Worshipful Brother Brian Crisp, Grand Chaplain, past Deputy Grand Master, holder of the Riley Medal.
Thank you. Representatives, please salute the Most Worshipful Grand Master with the sign of fidelity. Most Worshipful Grand Master, the representatives of the Grand Lodges at or near this Grand Lodge salute you and offer you our warmest and sincerest fraternal greetings as you enter that elite fraternity of the Grand Masters of the Grand Lodge of Western Australia. At your initiation, which has been referred to, you were told that the branches of Freemasonry are spread over the 4 quarters of the globe, and you have experienced that fact in part, large part, by having journeyed almost 5 years ago now with myself and a few others to a Masonic tour to the State of Israel, by having been initiated into the territory of Papua New Guinea, which was a member of the United Grand Lodge of Queensland, and ultimately by being accepted into the Grand Lodge of Western Australia, and all this in spite of the fact of being afflicted with the incorrect football code. Long may rugby live, but of course in Western Australia we recognise that Queensland has won the Australian football institution, which we call the Grand Final. My jewel carries a symbol of the trowel being held by an arm. And it reminds me that in part of the ritual in Freemasonry, and some of you will recognise it, it says that the Grand Master is asked to institute those tenets of Freemasonry which will encourage their brethren to suppress passions and moral irregularities so they may become as better Masons. And during your term of office, we wish you well in that particular procedure. Today, my brother representatives and I pray that the Most High will give you good health and strength as you commence your leadership as the role of Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free and Accepted Freemasons in Western Australia. Representatives, please salute the Most Royal Crown and be seated.
Brethren, with the exception of the representatives of sister Grand Lodges, all brethren of the Western Constitution will rise. Brethren, you will salute the representatives of sister sovereign Grand Lodges with grand honours 9 times, taking your time from the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. All brethren of the Western Australian Constitution will rise. Greetings on behalf of Grand Lodge will be conveyed by the Senior Grand Warden, Right Worshipful Brother Colin Kershaw, holder of the Grand Master's Order of Merit.
Brethren of the West Australian Constitution, you will salute the Most Worshipful Grand Master with the sign of fidelity, taking your time from the Grand Director of Ceremonies. Most Worshipful Grand Master, as the Senior Warden of this Grand Lodge, it is for me both an honour and a privilege to bring you hearty and fraternal greetings from all the brethren of the West Australian Constitution. May I, on their behalf, congratulate you on being installed as our new Grand Master, and acknowledging the manner in which you have conducted yourself as Deputy Grand Master, I have no doubt that your term of office as Grand Master and therefore the representative of the Royal Solomon will be one of both profit and pleasure to yourself and Grand Lodge. Grand Master, on behalf of all the brethren, we pledge our support and allegiance both to you as Grand Master and to the Grand Lodge of Western Australia for your term of office. And we pray to the great architect of the universe that he continues to grant you health and strength to fulfill the duties of your new exalted high office with satisfaction to yourself and advantage to this Grand Lodge. Brethren of the West Australian Constitution, you will salute the Most Worshipful Grand Master with the sign of fidelity, taking your time from the Grand Director of Ceremonies. Thank you, brethren. Please be seated.
Most Worshipful Brother Jeff Harper, Right Worshipful Brother Brian Crisp, and our Senior Grand Warden. Thank you for those greetings that you conveyed to me. They're very much appreciated. And Right Worshipful Brother Crisp, you are correct. I am a rugby league person first and then a rugby union person, and I do refer to that other game that people call football, which I disagree with. because I think it's soccer, it should be football. I refer to it as cross-country ballet. And I've most probably upset a lot of people in this room here today, but I do keep my allegiances. And Most Worshipful Brother Harper, I still back the Maroons in the state of origin. Thank you. But I must admit, for everything else, I support Western Australia. But I am looking forward to the next 3 years, and I can't do that without the support of the Western Australian brethren and also the support from all the other lodges that are represented here and also the leaders of other delegations as well. I do thank you and look forward to the next 3 years and guiding this Grand Lodge. Thank you. Brethren, assist me to close this Grand Lodge. Brother Grand Pursuivant, where is your situation in Grand Lodge?
Within the inner porch of Grand Lodge, Most Worshipful Grand Master.
What is your duty?
To give a due report on all approaching brethren, to see that they are properly clothed and ranged under their respective banners.
Do you find them so placed?
To the best of my knowledge, Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Where is the situation of the Junior Grand Warden?
In the south, Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Brother Junior Grand Warden, whom do you represent?
Boaz, the Prince of the People on Mount Tabor.
Where is the situation of the Senior Grand Warden?
In the west, Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Brother Senior Grand Warden, whom do you represent?
Jarkin, the Assistant High Priest on Mount Sinai.
Where is the situation of the Deputy Grand Master?
At the right of the Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Brother Deputy Grand Master, whom do you represent?
Hiram Abiff, the Prince of Architects.
What is your duty?
Lay schemes, draw designs and assist the Most Worshipful Grand Master in the execution of the work.
Where is the situation of the Most Worshipful Grand Master?
In the east.
What is his duty? Sorry, whom does he represent?
The Royal Solomon.
Brethren, after the Grand Chaplain has invoked the blessing on the Most High, I will, in the name of the Royal Solomon, declare this lodge closed in ample form.
Brethren, before this Grand Lodge is closed in ample form, let us unite in humble acknowledgement of our dependence on the Most High. Let us, with all reverence and humility, express our gratitude to him for favours already received. Let us not fail to discharge our duty towards him with fervency and zeal. May we continue to act in accordance with the principles of the craft, and may he continue to preserve our order by cementing and adorning it with every moral and social virtue.
Brethren, in the name of the Royal Solomon, I declare this Grand Lodge closed in ample form.
Brethren, you will all join in singing the closing ode. Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, whilst the Grand Master, the past Grand Masters, leaders of delegations, the Deputy Grand Master, the past Grand Masters, leaders of, senior members of delegations, and the Grand Wardens retire, you will all please rise. The brethren will adopt the sign of fidelity. The past Grand Master, sorry, the Grand Master. I can tell you I'm over it. The past Grand Masters. No, not yet, not yet. Yeah, okay. You'll be asked. You're going to have before you. The leaders of delegations. Yeah, there you go with them. The Deputy Grand Master. The past Deputy Grand Masters. Senior members of delegations. The Grand Wardens. Don't worry about this lot. They shouldn't be going out. The Grand Wardens. Come on, boys. Yeah. Ladies, gentlemen, and brethren, thank you for your time and good afternoon. How far we go?